Okay.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Herold here on Badlands Media. I'm your host, Jon Herold, and hope you guys are having a great hump day so far. I know I am. We got plenty to discuss today. Lots of things have happened in the last 12 to 24 hours, more than usual. Very excited. 8 Todell, or B Todell, sorry, says, wonder if Jon will have any additional information on the ICE-involved shooting in Minneapolis this morning. I do not. I did see it happened. If you guys want, we can talk about it. I think Brian covered it this morning on his show. But it does appear that after the Somalian daycare situation got exposed a week or two ago, whenever that was, they have upped their presence. DHS has upped the presence in Minneapolis and Minnesota. This is kind of what happens. When you're trying to remove violent criminals, they're going to do violent criminal things. But yeah, how's the rest of the chat doing? Listening while chiseling some doors for a friend? What do you mean chiseling some doors? Like, are you chiseling a design into the door? Yeah, Minneapolis had shooting at ICE. Let me see if I can find a video of it here. Here we go.
Yeah, I know, man. I get you guys. I get you guys mad. We'll do something. You guys are mad. We're out here doing something. Don't talk about it. Officer fucking reasonable.
Is there no video of the actual shooting? Oh.
Flying by me, so I'm like, something's happening over here. So.
And what did you
I'm
see
just
exactly
shaking.
yourself?
I didn't witness, but I talked to several people that witnessed it, and they heard the gunshot. And the one guy said that they reached for her door handle, and then she took off, and then it shot her through the windshield and shot her in the face. So they're taking her on the corner there by ambulance right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Why can't people just be like respectful and normal? Like, what gets inside people to go to, I don't even know where this is in Minneapolis, but just go out there and just start yelling at because you don't like things. And then resist arrest or whatever happened there to get shot. I mean, law enforcement says, like, hey, do this one thing. Even if you don't think you're in the wrong, you do the thing. 4 hinges, John. Nice. I got you. PJ Corrigan, well, hello, y'all. My favorite time of the day. I get to hang out with Jon for a bit. Yeah, we're all just hanging out. Youngsters have no clue. Yeah, normally I just buy the doors that come pre-chiseled or post-chiseled. Pre-chiseled? Now I'm confusing myself. Quiet Coney, this admin is still not going after the head of the snake. I don't know. Since National Guard left California as well, then Noam stating DHS is coming to California. Hope military gets sent in response to violence. So I don't like my tax dollars supporting people that are stealing my money. I'm the one that should be yelling. Exactly. Cece, I paused Golden Girls to watch this. Hope it's good. You can unpause it. This Golden Girl, you'll probably be more entertained by Golden Girls than this. Working and driving. Okay, let's start going through some stuff. I got a couple sponsors real quick, and then we'll talk about financial stuff. We'll talk about J6. We can talk about NATO, which I can't believe I missed the anniversary of January 6th yesterday. Totally forgot. Yeah, we got lots. Greenland, we're going to buy that thing. Okay, yeah. Rise of Tire first.
What is the Sovereign Alliance? The Sovereign Alliance are a collection of leaders and countries
that are aligned not in the vision for their countries, but against a vision that has been thrust upon them. I believe that the Sovereign Alliance is less a battle for something and more a battle against something. They are against globalism, collectivism. They are against the rules-based international order.
Sovereign Alliance, the latest addition to Badlands Rise merch, available now at badlandsmedia.tv/rise.
Rise Attire, guys, get their gear. It's awesome. You're supporting America First Company and you're supporting Badlands in the process. Good to see you, Phil. Green Ozone says, seen any ice in Bismarck? That's like all I see from basically November to March, April, depending on the year. Lots of ice up here. Scheisler's becoming a Texan today, getting their driver's license. Good for you. Congrats on the move. Excited that everything worked out and you to be around your grandkids more. It's awesome. One more sponsor here quick, and then we'll get plugging away.
You deserve more than sluggish mornings and blood sugar spikes. Discover the simple daily system that helped so many regain health without dieting or exercise routines. 2 easy-to-take daily drinks. A brain-boosting, appetite-suppressing morning blend that ushers in energy and clarity. A hearty, fiber-packed pre-meal drink that stabilizes blood sugar, aids digestion, and fights cravings. It's a gentle, science-backed path to improved metabolism, renewed vitality, and lasting weight control. Feeling better starts with this simple 2-step daily protocol.
Badlandshealth.com. Drink the Unicity stuff every single day. Ozone, you live an hour south of me. What is an hour south of me? Is that like, I'm trying to think. Hazleton, Fort Yates or something? On a football note, John, are you rooting for the Bears? Oh, man. I think who I want to win the Super Bowl this year is the Texans, actually. I like their defense, Danielle Hunter. I'd be okay with the Bills doing it. Pretty much anybody else I don't care about. I did see that Harbaugh got fired, and actually we have a truth post from Trump on that. Hire Jon Harbaugh fast. He and his brother are total winners. I bet he will get hired fast. What a dumb move by the Ravens. Leith. Oh, that's right. I remember talking. Didn't I talk to you at a guard about that, Deadwood? All right. No update on the Doge website. Silver and gold have come down a little bit, down to 78 and under 4,500, respectively. River, let's see where we're at with Bitcoin. Badlandsmedia.tv/river. Over 91,000. That's great. Oh, you know what I should talk about real quick? Because this just launched. I'm going to do one more ad. But this is a sweet one. We've been talking about this on Badlands for a little bit now. It's Rumble Wallet. They can freeze your accounts. They can shut off your cards. They can lock you out of your own money overnight. Banks don't protect you. They control you. That's why real financial freedom starts with ownership. Introducing Rumble Wallet, a wallet built for people who refuse to give up control. With Rumble Wallet, you don't just buy digital currency like Bitcoin and Tether. You can own Tether Gold, real gold, on the blockchain. Through Tether Gold, you get direct ownership of physical gold bars, each one fully allocated, verifiable by serial number, purity, and weight. This isn't paper gold. This isn't an IOU. This is real gold without bank vaults, storage fees, or gatekeepers. You can buy, sell, or move it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even when traditional gold markets are closed. And if you want, Tether Gold can be redeemed for physical gold. That is power. And when you support creators on Rumble, you can tip them directly using Rumble Wallet, peer-to-peer, secure, and outside the banking system. No permissions, no middlemen, no cancel button. The wallet is yours forever. And I absolutely love this because we're very pro crypto, pro Bitcoin here on Badlands, and we've been waiting and anticipating this Rumble wallet thing for a while. We got on it like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now I think they've rolled it out to anybody. If you're not on Rumble wallet yet, I'd highly encourage you to do so. And if you do get on, you guys should try tipping us some Bitcoin. I think it can be less than $1 even, but there's an easy little way to do it. It's like this is the show right now. If you click this tip button, can you see my mouse over here? Tip. And it lets you tip your favorite creators on any video, pretty much ever. It's cool stuff. 12 Vinny Boy, good to see you, Ty. Jackie just set hers up. Yeah, it's really cool. I'm excited about it. Okay, let's keep going here. Nothing new on outside of Senate confirmations, there's nothing really new. Sarah Carter got confirmed as the drug czar. They put out a whole website. Where is it at? On January 6th. I don't know where it's at, though. I don't remember. I had it pulled up, but then is this it? This is it. Whole new website. And I think next week they're having like the second or third committee now on January 6th. They're going to be having their first hearing. A literal rerun, guys. The January 6th committee. Just a different version. But yeah, worth checking out. whitehouse.gov/J6th. Let's go through a couple other Trump True Social posts. He had this yesterday or this morning. Remember, for all those big NATO fans, are there big NATO fans? Like, is that a thing? Or are they just like people who use it for money laundering, so they advocate for it publicly? Like, who actually cares about NATO? There's nobody cheering on NATO. They were at 2% GDP, and most weren't paying their bills until I came along. The USA was foolishly paying for them. I respectfully got them to 5% GDP, and they pay immediately. Everyone said that couldn't be done, but it could, because beyond all else, they are all my friends. Without my involvement, Russia would have all of Ukraine right now. Remember, also, I single-handedly ended 8 wars, and Norway, a NATO member, foolishly chose not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize. Freaking Norway. How dare they? Also, this is a funny one, funny narrative. Without my involvement, Russia would have all of Ukraine right now. I mean, technically, if you're not a subscriber to the devolution theory, and I'm not talking paying subscriber, like I'm just saying you can be a free subscriber, but if you don't like follow that theory, devolution, Trump there was something going on. Russia probably could have taken Ukraine if it wanted to at any point while Biden was in office. So this is just a funny one anytime they bring that up. Anyway, but that doesn't matter. What does matter is that I saved millions of lives. Russia and China have zero fear of NATO without the United States, and I doubt NATO would be there for us if we really needed them. Everyone is lucky that I rebuilt our military in my first term and I continue to do so. We will always be there for NATO, even if they won't be there for us. The only nation that China and Russia fear and respect is the DJT, rebuilt USA, make America great again. President Donald J. Trump. What is his signature line? The only nation that China and Russia fear and respect is the DJT rebuilt USA. Oh, is the Donald Trump rebuilt United States of America. I got it. This is very confusing how this was formatted. But this has a weird feeling to it. He recently in the national security strategy basically said yeah, NATO, we don't know what you're going to look like in 10 years. So we don't even know if you'll be an ally. You might not even be a majority white country. We have no idea. And here, this is like a letter you would write to, if you're going to send a text message to break up with somebody, this is like what you write. I'll always be there for you. I'll always care about you. But what, Trump? He's setting the table to leave, which I think would be great. Chargers are going to take it. I don't think so. I don't think the Chargers are going to win the Super Bowl. Their line isn't good enough, I don't think. Is there any other legitimate theory other than devolution? I mean, I don't think so. but I am slightly biased when it comes to that. I would ask Trump what's really going on. Trump is sounding more and more like Hitler. Really? You think so? I don't think so. A Dear John letter. NATO is a scam. The U.S. is NATO. Without us, they are nothing. Richard Ward, John, you seem kind of off today, bro. Is everything okay? I'm kind of concerned. No, I'm good. I'm tired. Like I woke up and I got a decent amount of sleep, but it was one of those times where I didn't wake up naturally. I just feel like I woke up in the middle of a deep sleep, and I don't know. I've just been like groggy all day. People are incredibly stupid. Yes, they are. But who are you referring to? Which people? We have this having to do with Venezuela. I'm pleased to announce that the interim authorities in Venezuela will be turning over between 30 and 50 million barrels of high-quality sanctioned oil to the United States of America. This oil will be sold at its market price, and that money will be controlled by me. As President of the United States of America, to ensure it is used to benefit the people of Venezuela and the United States, I've asked Energy Secretary Chris Wright to execute this plan immediately. It will be taken by storage ships and brought directly to unloading docks in the United States. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. The Venezuela thing, I'm still fascinated by. I've been ruminating on it more, chewing on it more. I still think people like Chris, Ghost, Burning Bright, what we've been discussing on this topic for the longest time is over the target. Negotiated exit. I'm just curious to see how the globalists respond to this situation. It's like this. It was a chess piece, but also like the excuse of the oil. I don't buy it. He's pushing that narrative. Obviously, there's much bigger things going on here, especially with the rare earth stuff, and kind of forcing the move to regions of responsibilities. The hemispheres. But they're going to do something. Like the deep state global, they're not just going to allow this to happen. They're going to try to force that Marina Kachuta in there. And that's why I think it was pretty notable. He came out right away and just said no to that. But I also don't think this is necessarily about drug trades. Because just taking out Maduro isn't going to all of a sudden stop drug trades in the United States. Especially when you leave everybody else there, I don't know. It's going to be a fun couple weeks figuring this all out. A lot of rationalizations. Yeah. I did see that Ricky Irish. I'll get to that here in a minute. The Dems are pissed. Not only did they lose their commie friend, they lost a commie nation. People need to stop freaking out over the term regime change. I agree with that, which is why I haven't said it yet. I know some people don't see it as regime change. That's fine. It's a good regime change. It's a different kind of regime change. It's still a regime change, but it was, I don't know. Me and Bernie Brett will discuss this tonight because I was trying to put my thoughts together. It's like, I'm making the argument that it's definitionally a regime change, whatever. It was done in a different way than they've ever been done before. The story we're getting told about it is complete bullshit, but the reasons we think it was done is less about a regime change than a traditional regime change. There's so much to this, and we're obviously going to spend a lot of time on it later, but I won't dwell on it now because I don't want to piss everybody off. Here's actually, let's do the Greenland story quick first before we come back to this other post. Greenland and Denmark request ministerial meeting with the U.S. Secretary of State Rubio. Rubio floats purchase of Greenland. The Greenlandic government and Denmark have requested a ministerial meeting with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Greenland's Foreign Minister Vivian Motzfeldt, and Danish Foreign Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen, according to a post by Motzfeldt on Facebook. She does look like somebody who still uses Facebook. Makes sense. The request follows strong statements by the United States concerning Greenland and aims to open a formal channel for discussion at the ministerial level. Also noted that despite repeated requests throughout 2025 from both Greenland and Denmark, a meeting with Secretary Rubio has not yet taken place. That seems odd. I mean, Trump has had Greenland on radar, like at least for the narrative. Like he's been seeding that narrative of us taking Greenland for a while. He's been memeing the heck out of it. And so if they've been requesting a meeting, why would he not take that? Just seems weird. But anyway, she added that the post is intended to provide clear information on the timing and status of the request. Marco Rubio reportedly told lawmakers during a closed briefing that recent rhetoric toward Greenland was not an indication of an imminent invasion, but part of an effort to pursue the island's purchase from Denmark. The White House said Tuesday that President Trump and his advisors are weighing multiple pathways to acquire Greenland. Press Secretary Karen Leavitt explained the president has made it well known that acquiring Greenland is a national security priority of the United States, and it's vital to deter our adversaries in the Arctic region, adding that the president and his team are discussing a range of options to pursue this important foreign policy goal. And of course, utilizing the U.S. military is always an option at the commander-in-chief's disposal. I want to go to Greenland. And like, depending, I just want to see what they have for some of their scenery. Man, it's like cold as balls there. But like, this would be a sweet place to live. And maybe for a couple of weeks. We should just do a GART there. If we end up buying Greenland, we should do a GART Greenland. But yeah, I thought this was interesting that this is coming up again, right on the heels of the Venezuela, whatever you want to call it. And Trump's already like, this is thrown out in the zeitgeist again. We're going to purchase it. And then the mainstream media is taking it and running with it. And I thought this article was hysterical. This is from Politico. How Trump gets Greenland in 4 easy steps. And worryingly for the Danes, it looks like he's started. Drug issues in Greenland, I learned in Daily Chat. What kind of drug issues? Yeah, Greenland is like East North Dakota. So you're not moving to Greenland. You won't even move outside the city limits in Bismarck. I would move outside the city limits in Bismarck. Just depends where. And I'm not saying like this week. We don't even have Greenland yet. I haven't done any real estate shopping. And I don't even know how long of a flight that is. But anyway, let's go through this article real quick. Just because I'm willing to move outside the city limits, CC, does not mean that we're going to. I'd be willing to do a lot of things. Doesn't mean I do those things. All just depends. Okay, let's read through some of this. Donald Trump wants, again, Politico, mainstream media, leftist narrative, and four steps to how Trump can get Greenland. Donald Trump wants the U.S. to own Greenland. The trouble is Greenland already belongs to Denmark, and most Greenlanders don't want to become part of the U.S. I doubt that somehow. I doubt that they don't want to. I bet they do. Anyway, while swooping into Greenland's capital, Nuuk, and taking over Venezuela style seems fanciful, so they're already seeding that like they could just do what they did in Venezuela. Although, do they have like a specific leader, president of Greenland? I don't even know. I know nothing about Greenland, but I want to move there. Even if the military attacks on Caracas seem to have provided a jolt to all sides about what the U.S. is capable of, there's a definite pathway. And Trump already appears to be some way along it. Worryingly for the Europeans, the strategy looks an awful lot like Vladimir Putin's expansionist playbook. So here we get the comparisons to Putin. The only thing that they don't realize is those are good comparisons. John, you can take your yacht to Greenland. Yeah, CC wants a mini farm. I mean, it's not cheap. Well, I'll think about it. I'll take it under consideration. We'll think about it. Anyway, Politico spoke with 9 EU officials, NATO insiders, defense experts, and diplomats to game out how a U.S. takeover of the mineral-rich and strategically important Arctic island could play out. So they interviewed a bunch of deep state people, and this is like what they came up with, the 4 steps to how Trump could get Greenland. It could be like 5 helicopters. He wouldn't need a lot of troops, said a Danish politician who asked for anonymity to speak freely. So dumb. This is like a totally made up fear-mongering story, by the way. That's where I'm going with this. There would be nothing they, the Greenlanders, could do. 1, an influence campaign to boost Greenland's independent movement. So we can read about some of the details, I guess, but this is like just information war, psyops. Obviously, this is happening all the time. To gain independence, Greenlanders would need a vote in a referendum that negotiate a deal that both Nuuk and Copenhagen must approve. In a 2025 opinion poll, 56% of Greenlanders said they would vote in favor of independence, while 28% said they would vote against it. Americans with ties to Trump have carried out covert influence operations in Greenland, according to Danish media reports, with Denmark's Security and Intelligence Service, PET, warning the territory is the target of influence campaigns of various kinds. Didn't Charlie Kirk go there with Don Jr.? Maybe Denmark killed Charlie Kirk. Somebody get that to Candace Owens. She needs to know. Anyway, let's skip down. Offer Greenland a sweet deal. So number 1 is you just convince the people there themselves using psyops that they actually want it themselves. That's number 1. Step 2, offer Greenland a sweet deal. Assuming its efforts to speed up Greenland's independence referendum come to fruition and the territory's inhabitants vote to leave Denmark behind, the next step would be to bring it under U.S. influence. And this is how we give them money? I don't even know. A direct swap of Denmark for the U.S. seems largely unpalatable to most of the population. The poll mentioned above also showed 85% of Greenlanders oppose the territory becoming part of the U.S., and even Trump-friendly members of the independence movement aren't keen on the idea. But there are other options. Reports have circulated since last May that Trump wants to sign a compact of free association like it currently has with Micronesia, the Marshall Islands, and Palau. Under the deals, the U.S. provides essential services, protection, and free trade in exchange for its military operating without restriction in those countries. The idea resurfaced this week. There's 1. Okay, number 3, we can get Europe on board, particularly Denmark's EU allies, would balk at any attempts to leave or cleave Greenland away from Copenhagen. But the U.S. administration does have a trump card to play on that front, Ukraine. As peace negotiations have gathered, Kyiv said that any deal with Putin must be backed by serious long-term U.S. security guarantees. Basically, they can strong-arm us. Give us Greenland in return for security guarantees for Ukraine. Lame. But then number 4 here, and this one, the fear-mongering part, and the one that can be done regardless of the other 3. Like, you don't even need to do the other 3 if you're going to talk about this one. So all the other stuff was stupid. But step 4, military invasion. What if Greenland or Denmark, who's okay, Nuuk needs to secede? I don't think I'm saying that right. Nuuk? Is that Nuuk? Nuuk? I don't know what that word is, but whatever. A U.S. military takeover could be achieved without much difficulty. The most worrisome would be a fait accompli type strategy, which we see a lot and think about a lot in military circles, which would be simply grabbing the land the same way Putin tried to grab to make territorial claims over Ukraine. He could just simply put troops in the country and say, that's America now. The United States military is capable of landing any number of forces on Greenland, either by air or by sea, and claiming that it's American territory. I mean, yeah, we could do that. I think I like the idea of a purchase better. Like, if we're going to do it, they don't have a traditional government, right? I don't know. I think purchasing would be the way to go. I get behind that. Harry Vetch, with all the tariffs, free trade with Greenland might just do it for him. We need more ice. John has been super clear, no cruises. I have been pretty clear on that, but maybe someday. You can golf 24 hours a day in the summer in Greenland. Sunshine is 24 hours a day. That is a lot of golfing. That's cool. I could just like wake up in the middle of the night and go golfing. John, we know Badlands owns Greenland already with all the money he made. Yeah, that's where I've been putting it. We'll see what happens. I do see like the national security benefits of us taking Greenland or getting Greenland, however we get it, whatever, taking, I'll just say taking for now. I do see the potential financial benefits of it. The region's responsibility pretty much said this was coming. And so I'm in favor of it, depending how we like. I'm in favor of it, and I want to see how we go about doing it. And this is one of those things like, depending how we do it will change the calculus of whether I think it's like a moral thing to do. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean it wouldn't be a good thing or beneficial thing for the long term. So since it's not going to be a legit regime change, just swapping it out, if the people there are for it or benefit from it, I think it's going to happen. Greenland would be a great place to keep AI cool. Yeah, Bravest, I agree this is what's going to happen too. No military, John. He'll make a deal they can't refuse. I agree. The world's northernmost deep water port makes a crucial logistical hub in the Arctic. Yeah, Greenland wants to be part of the U.S. We will get it. I'm pretty sure there was a NSPM about the Arctic back in 2018 or 2019. Yeah, safeguarding the U.S. national interests in the Arctic and Antarctic regions. I wonder if this talks about Greenland at all in here. No. I'll have to read through this sometime. I'll post in the chat in case any of you guys want to read through it too. The fog of political transparency. They got a prison there too. Nice. Spetzel, he's the head of state, Prime Minister Jens Frederick Nielsen. Well, let's learn a little bit about Greenland. I got some time here. You know, I've never been like, oh, I wonder who is in charge of Greenland. I've never cared until now. Greenland is an autonomous territory, Kingdom of Denmark. How did Denmark even get it? Late 15th century, the Portuguese attempted to find the northern route to Asia, which led to, okay. 1953 Constitution of Denmark ended Greenland's status as a colony, integrating it fully into the Danish state. In the 1979 Greenlandic Home Rule referendum, Denmark granted home rule to Greenland. And then in their self-government referendum, Greenlanders voted for the Self-Government Act, which transferred more power from the Danish government to the, is that what they call themselves? The Nalakersuit, the Greenlandic government. We're definitely changing that name if we buy them. Under this structure, Greenland gradually assumed responsibility for a number of governmental services and areas of competence. Danish government retains control of citizenship, monetary policy, security policies, and foreign affairs. With the melting of the ice due to global warming, its abundance of mineral wealth, and its strategic position between Eurasia, North America, and the Arctic zone, Greenland holds strategic importance for the Kingdom of Denmark, NATO, and the EU. Probably more importantly, for us. I'm going to do a Google Earth quick too. And I want to see who's in charge. King of Denmark. This Premier of Greenland. Here we go. He's the head of the government of Greenland. Prime Minister is usually the person who is leader of a majority party. Who is this guy? He's the first member of the Democratic Party to hold office. He has condemned U.S. hybrid warfare against Greenland and said that Trump will not get Greenland. Okay, well, maybe we will go kidnap this guy too. Interesting stuff. In response to the Russian invasion of Ukraine, Nielsen urged Polar Seafood to halt its Russian operations. How dare they? We're not going to give them seafood. We need to emphasizing the need to pressure Russia and restore peace in Europe. I wonder if, like, do you think that ever crossed Putin's mind? Like, hey, where's our sushi at? Where's my sushi? Like, sir, Greenland told the Polar Seafood to halt their operations here until you end the war in Ukraine. Oh, damn it! I need my sushi. Let's do it. Call it off. So stupid. In March 2025, he condemned U.S. President Donald Trump's threats to invade Greenland. Nielsen said Trump will not get Greenland. In April 2025, a plan by the United States for undermining the territorial integrity of the Kingdom of Denmark through a campaign of foreign interference and disinformation on social media became known. The official Danish threat assessment published by the Danish intelligence service in 2025 for the first time mentioned the United States as a threat to national security alongside Russia and China. Huh. Advocates for reducing reliance on Denmark's block grant by prioritizing business development. How many people are even in Greenland? Demographics. 56,000 people. That is crazy. I wonder how long it takes them to count their elections. They live along the fjords. Interesting. Well, thanks for coming to hang out with me while I study Greenland. Now I feel like I know everything. I am an expert now in Greenland geopolitics. So if any of you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, I was going to do something. Was I going to move on? What was I going to do, guys? I don't remember, but whatever. We're going to move on. Trump's next Truth Social post. For a very long time, buying and owning a home was considered the pinnacle of the American dream. It was the reward for working hard and doing the right thing. But now, because of the record high inflation caused by Joe Biden and the Democrats in Congress, that American dream is increasingly out of reach for far too many people, especially younger Americans. It is for that reason, and much more, that I'm immediately taking steps to ban large institutional investors from buying more single-family homes, and I will be calling on Congress to codify it. People live in homes, not corporations. I will discuss this topic, including further housing and affordability proposals and more at my speech in Davos in 2 weeks. And this is great. This is amazing. Is it Blackstone? Isn't it them who they and their subsidy, or they spun out a company, Invitation Homes or whatever. They're like one of the largest institutional investors who purchase homes in America. Stopping them from owning homes is going to have great impact on the pricing of homes. Probably even the number of homes available for sale, the inventory. I think it's a great move. I think we also need to go after foreign countries who are buying land. BlackRock. I know you guys are thinking it's BlackRock, but I'm pretty sure it's Blackstone who did Invitation Homes. Yeah. Invitation Homes is a major U.S. single-family home rental company. Manages around 84,000 homes. Invitation Homes began major acquisitions post-2012 housing crisis, buying foreclosed homes in bulk to rent out, and it grew through investments like those from Blackstone until 2019. Now let's do this. What institutional investor? Is that how he worded it? Let me double check. Yeah, institutional investor owns the most single-family homes in the USA. American Homes for Rent is the largest institutional investor of U.S. single-family homes. Invitation Homes. Let's learn about these guys real quick. American Homes for Company Dallas Short. Yeah. A lot of people say BlackRock with that, but they're not one of the top. Check out Trump's statement on truth. Is there a new one? Yeah, I just read that. So I was just reading. But this is a great move. I mean, I want to see the stuff. We've been talking about the switch theory for a long time and how a lot of things are like in place in terms of economic stuff, domestic onshoring of are manufacturing a lot of areas. Some of the chips manufacturing. This Venezuela move, I think, is going to have more economic impacts outside of just oil. Like the switch theory stuff, if you take away this method of the globalists and the deep state controlling the affordability of things like houses, you take this away, this is going to be good. And I've been waiting to see what Trump is going to be able to do for the average American, the average working American in terms of like economics. Because that's what people care about. It really is. And I don't want to say like, oh, it does it for the midterms or whatever. Like, yeah, the timing's great if we continue to play the fake election game and whatever. It's a narrative they can use to justify Trump and Republicans winning the midterms. Right? It's all side war anyway. But this is what I want to see. I think this is great. Stuff like this will while removing the corruption and getting rid of the fraud, the waste and abuse and all that stuff, because I do think it's going there. While getting rid of all that, his legacy is also going to be the American dream that he's able to give people, like the average person. And this is a step towards that. I want to see more of it. It's all fake and gay, John. So there's that. Appreciate that input, Richard. Trump used the wrong country. Maybe it was on purpose. Which country did he use? Blackstone focuses on private equity and BlackRock on asset management. Thank you, St. Pete. E.H. Cal, have you looked into the 2025 FSOC report? I'm like 20 some pages into it. But that was like a little while ago, a couple days ago. And I haven't picked it back up. Chapter 13 bankruptcy will protect you from property seizure. They don't want you to know that. I did not know that. BlackRock does hold a significant minority stake, about 4 to 6% in Blackstone as an investor. I did not know that. Okay, let's keep cruising through some stories. It's 12:42 already, so I'll get you guys out of here in a little bit. Feds probe hundreds of millions in suspected Somali cash in luggage leaving Minneapolis airport. Transportation Security Administration flagged nearly $700 million in cash. Your cash, by the way, taxpayer dollars. Detected in passengers' luggage leaving the Minneapolis airport in the last 2 years. A massive cash exodus believed to be tied to Somali immigrants and their money couriers. They just said the cash movements out of Minnesota's largest airport began about a decade ago. Though all were legally declared according to U.S. Customs rules, the bundles of cash and luggages, some as much as $1 million in a single trip, raised regular suspicions among TSA agents. Then why didn't they do anything about it for 10 years? 10 years, you're noticing large sums of cash just leave the country? And it gave you suspicions, yet nothing was done about it? Nobody looked into it? But now the story's coming out to further, show everybody just how corrupt everything is. Good stuff. But 10 years ago, that was when Trump was first in office. Not saying Trump had anything to do with it, but I'm saying like we've had opportunities to address the fraud, the waste and abuse and the corruption and everything when it comes to the use of our tax dollars in our government. And so it grinds my gears when I see stories like this of people raising suspicions 10 years ago and nothing having been done about it. That is annoying. The Trump admin is keeping several coal plants running, smashing predictions of the end of coal. We just smashed the shit out of those predictions, guys. Great job. Trump says Venezuela's interim government. Sorry, I said that word really bad. I'm going to start over. Trump says Venezuela's interim government will send U.S. up to 50 million barrels of oil. That was a Trump True Social post I read earlier, so I'll skip that one. Education Department's new tool shows foreign funding to U.S. universities. China, Qatar spend the most. Oh, I want to see that. Here, new database. Let's go. Okay. Section 117, foreign gift and contract reporting. Qatar. Who do they give it to? Germany, that's a lot of money from Germany too. Cornell, Carnegie, Texas A&M. We need one of these for social media and podcasting people too. Germany gives to that much to the University of Pennsylvania. I want to click on the number. Stop it. I want to see like what. Can I see the dates? Is this all the information we can get? Oh, that is frustrating. I mean, it's cool, but I want to see like, did it align with a specific time period that might be interesting? You know, hey, Joe Biden, Penn University, what's going on here? But this is cool. I want to play around with this. I'm curious what you guys think of foreign money coming to the United States. Like, I'm a capitalist. I think, yeah, if you can get people to give you money for a service, that's great. But it's the influence that I don't like, right? I want all foreign dollars out of our country when it comes to that. I want to stop sending money to these other countries as well. Because, like, think of U.S. policy. U.S. policy, we're going to give money to, I don't know, let's say we give money to Qatar for some weapons arrangement. They then spend that money on universities who spend money and, you know, the pipeline of politicians and lobbyists and social media influencers, corporate America, everything. How much of that do they control to just keep the cycle going where we send money, they send it back, buy off people, and it keeps going? Never ends. I want to shut it all down. Wasn't Joe Biden a professor there? Yeah, he was like a, I don't know if he was just like a distinguished fellow or what he was, but the peasants are revolting. You said it. They stink on ice. What's that from? 2019, you said gave $52 million in development assistance for programs inside Venezuela. Totally not money laundering. But yeah, anyway, I'll post this in the chat if anybody you guys want to play around with that website. There you go. Let's see what else we got. The DOJ has sued Arizona and Connecticut over voter roll data. I feel like once a month we get a story where the DOJ is suing a state over their voter roll data. I don't think we've seen anything actually get resolved from any of those cases at this point. U.S. seizes Russian-flagged tanker as Venezuela oil blockade tightens. Me and Bernie Brett are going to discuss this tonight on the Power Hour, but I'll briefly fill you in. The United States seized a Russian-flagged oil tanker on Wednesday after a more than 2-week pursuit across the Atlantic. An operation U.S. officials said supports a presidential proclamation targeting sanctioned vessels that threaten the security and stability of the Western Hemisphere. I'm pretty sure we read this story or talked about this story a couple days ago because it was a Venezuelan tanker. Then somebody's like, oh, they slapped a Russian sticker on it now. What's going to happen? But then here we go. The vessel was intercepted near Iceland by the U.S. Coast Guard with support from the U.S. military, marking what appears to be the first recent seizure of a Russian-flagged ship by U.S. forces. Uh-oh. The tanker known as the Bella 1 had evaded a U.S. maritime blockade in the Caribbean and refused earlier Coast Guard boarding attempts, later reflagging under Russia and renaming itself Marinera? Wait a second. So they just they had a boat, they had a name change. This is like a sex change, except for it's a boat. This is a trans boat. Because after, multiple attempts of somebody trying to enter them, they're like, no, I can't handle this anymore. Change the flag, change the name, boom, whole new boat. So let's not dead name this boat, guys. U.S. European Command said the ship was seized for violating U.S. sanctions. PNXS stated the blockade of sanctioned Venezuelan oil remains in force worldwide. U.S. officials also confirmed the interception of another Venezuela-linked tanker in the Caribbean Sea as enforcement actions continue. The developments followed an announcement by President Trump late Tuesday stating authorities would transfer between 30 and 50 million barrels of sanctioned oil. Yeah, it's trans boat. Funny stuff. Israel, Syria, and U.S. established joint communication cell for intelligence and de-escalation. I think this is interesting move. Curious what Ghost has to say about it. Maybe he's still out of the country. Ghost, I think, is coming on Friday, on the show on Friday, to discuss some things, some geopolitical things. Maybe we'll have him discuss this too. So you know what? I'm going to save this. I'll save that for Ghost. A CIA assessment favored Maduro allies as more capable of holding power. Did I read this yesterday? I think I did. If not, either way, we're discussing this on the Power Hour tonight as well. So I'm going to skip that. We can play this clip. I feel like this is an older clip, but it's being talked about today. So by the Breaking News Brigade. So let's play it.
About what the president's done in Venezuela?
Let me be very clear. There is no rift in the Republican Party. Yes, there are some folks like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie who are quite skeptical of this. They are very much in the minority. What are we talking about here? Well, why don't we just talk the GOP on the U.S. military ousting Maduro? Ipsos, 65% support, 6% opposed. How about the Washington Post poll? 74% support, just 10% opposed. If you look among 2024 Trump supporters, we're talking about 80% support. The vast, vast majority of Republicans are with Donald Trump on this issue. Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene are very much in the minority. Very few Republicans are with him.
You say they're with him on this issue. Do you even need those words, this issue?
No, I don't need the words this issue, because the bottom line is this. Donald Trump has had an iron grip on that Republican base for a long period of time, and it is the same iron grip that he had 6 months ago. I know every so often people are trying to say, oh, I spot these little rifts in the Republican base. Oh, they're finally starting to break. They're starting to break from Donald Trump. It ain't happening, at least when it comes to the approval rating. Look at this. 84% 6 months ago, 85% now.
Not that I believe polls. Polls are fake. I think it's funny that CNN is like, yeah, they're not divided at all. Whether it's true or not, I don't think so. I think his base is solid. But it still makes me wonder, knowing or maybe assuming that his base is so solid and people are going to think for themselves and come to the conclusion that, yeah, Trump's the guy. He's got the mandate of the people. He's got the actual consent of the governed. At times they will play with whether it does or not. And that's what a lot of these elections are for, is to, the polls, the elections, the result of the fake elections. It's to, sell you on whatever fabricated consensus and narrative they want to be pushing at the time. But I still find it so interesting how gay Trump supporters can be sometimes when it comes to how dare you question anything, or else you are a doomer or a black pill. They don't push for or strive for earnest and honest debate. Sometimes, not everybody. I don't want to put everybody. I don't think all of you are gay. But I don't know where I was going with that. But I think I'm done. That's my last story. So we'll wait for Richard Ward to tell us all one more time that the news is fake and gay. Venezuela is already invaded by China, Cuba, Iran, and Russia. We rescued them. Depends how you handle your poll, says Marine in the Woods. MPG Stewart, off the Florida Keys, there's a place called Kokomo. That's where you want to go to get away from it all. Like it. Just confirmation bias, says Bravest. Phil Scarborough waits a no circle jerk still. It varies. Depends. Situational. We do have a Rumble rant from Harry Vetch. With all the tariffs, free trade with Greenland might just do it for him. We need more ice. I think I read that earlier. But yeah, guys, I think that's all I got. And I will be back on tonight at 10:30 Eastern. You guys should tune in, because I think tonight I'll announce who our next newest Badlander is going to be in terms of having a show on Badlands. I think you guys will be pretty excited about it, because I know I am. I just got to confirm with this person that they are okay with me announcing it tonight. But very exciting stuff. So stay tuned for that. Hit that thumbs up if you don't mind. But stick around Badlands. We got a lot of great content going on a lot of the day. So Wednesdays are a fun one. I know Shipwreck's going to be live here Let me double check who else we got. Make sure I don't have to raid anybody. Yeah, Shipwreck Show, Altered State, and then the Power Hour tonight at 10:30 Eastern. So stick around. You guys have a great rest of your day. Get yourself some soft disclosure. Even though my beard is not at full length, I have been rubbing it all over my face every morning, and my skin looks great, I think. A little biased there as well, but anyway, guys. Oh, Jackie says she's going live in an hour on her channel, so I will. Man, if you were going live now, I could raid you, but maybe next time, maybe next Wednesday, we can figure that out, line something up. Anyway, get some soft disclosure, and I will see you tonight.
Get you some of that beard oil.
Now that I'm alone, got the close up. Do you see how awesome my beard looks right now?
I use the beard oil every single day. First thing.
Comes out feeling all silky smooth.
I take the dropper and I manually apply the oil
To every
directly
hair.
to my mustache.
Nice and, oh man, I love it.
And then I do drops all throughout the hair, and then I just rub it all in. And then I top it off with the tallow stick on the face.
But I feel like I have to grow a beard just to try this beard oil. It sounds
Do it, Jay.
amazing.
It's all from softdisclosure.com, and the best part about it is you'll be supporting Badlands Media, Annie from Willow and Farms, and basically 3 of Annie's neighbors. So that's 5 total American companies that you'd be supporting with one purchase.
I have been using the Soft Disclosure scentless beard oil every day after the shower. It looks unkempt, but it feels silky smooth. I want to look a little wild and unapproachable, but for the woman I trust, she'll be like, oh, it's actually kind of soft. He is approachable after all. Otherwise, stay away. And Soft Disclosure will help you too with that if that's the very specific vibe you're going for.
That is very specific, yes. You guys are supporting American businesses when you do that. It's absolutely incredible, and you get a great, great product.
Let's get started.
That's what she said.
Oh, that's real good.
Why stop to me? Stop to me.